Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about 10 things I hate about this CTX 1300. First thing I hate about it is the front suspension. For some reason, when you hit large bumps in the road, large holes or whatever, rough roads, it sends a shock up through the forks, through the handlebars, and makes the handlebars shudder in an almost violent way. I mean, you can visibly see it. I think it's because of how long these handlebars are. They stretched it back so it's more comfortable to ride, but as a side effect, it makes them shake violently over large bumps. It doesn't do it on the smaller medium bumps, but the big stuff, you can definitely feel it in the handlebars. I read that a way to fix the problem is to remove the handlebar weights. I have not tried that yet, but I'm definitely going to do that one of these days, just to see if it makes the shaking go away. I think the reason the shocks are so stiff in the front is because when you pull the front brake, the whole motorcycle would have done like a nosedive. It would have just squashed the front suspension all the way down. So they made them stiffer so it wouldn't do that. Second thing I hate about the CTX 1300 is the battery cover. This battery cover does not fit. On this bike, the battery's in the front left. But no matter what I do, I cannot get this cover to stay down. And it's annoying because every time you get on the bike, you see that and notice it. It is convenient, however, to have the battery up front for attaching accessories to the bike. You only have to wire it right here. The third thing I hate about the CTX is the toolkit, or lack thereof. It does come with a toolkit, and here it is. This is what you get in the toolkit for this bike. Here's your helmet lock, one Allen wrench, and one Phillips screwdriver. I don't even know of any Phillips head screws on this bike unless there's one under here for the idle or something, but I have no idea what you'd even use this for. And one Allen wrench. I don't even know what this would fit, honestly. I don't even know why they bothered. So much for a toolkit. The fourth thing I hate about this bike is the rear tire. Honda chose to put a 250/17 rear tire on this bike, and it's a somewhat rare tire and it's hard to find when you're traveling. I put a car tire on my bike and it's been working really good for me, but I would not recommend it. You know, it's a do it at your own risk and do it yourself kind of deal. If you want one, you almost have to mount it yourself or try to find a dealer or a bike mechanic that will mount it for you, but it can be kind of tough. So do your research and decide if it's the right thing to do. The fifth thing I don't like about this bike is the lack of your distance to go, your fuel range. This bike will not tell you how many miles you have to go on your tank until the low gas light comes on. Then it will give you your range about 40 miles or so, 40 to 50 miles depending on how you ride. But I really wish it would have just done that for the entire tank. It would have been a lot more useful. But I guess it's better than nothing. But I mean, if you're gonna put a sensor in there to sense the last gallon that's in the tank, why didn't they just put a sensor in there to monitor the whole tank? The sixth thing I don't like about this bike is the mirrors. They positioned the mirror in a spot where you see a lot of the front of your fingers. You see the handlebars in your fingers. You got to get them adjusted just right, and you can see okay, but they needed to be positioned a little different. They are good, however, for blocking the wind off your hand. The seventh thing I don't like about this bike is the side bags. Now they're okay, they're strong and they're sturdy, but the latching system, again, it's strong, but it's kind of clunky and inconvenient. You cannot take these bags off when you say you get to a motel room for the night when you're traveling. These are bolted on, 2 big bolts, and a rubber grommet here holding them on. They are very sturdy. They feel thick. Like you could probably drop the bike over at a stoplight or something and they wouldn't break. I've seen people on the internet must have been rolling a little bit and I see scuff marks right here. This is where the bike lands, but the bags are still intact. but I wish there was a way to detach them when you got to a room at night. And I feel like this latching system, although it is strong, it's just clunky and inconvenient to try to use it. The eighth thing I don't like about this bike are the headlights. Now they're really bright and they work really well when you're going down the highway in a straight line. But as soon as you try to take corners and curves at night, the way these LED lights are, there's a very abrupt cutoff at the top. So, you know, it's lit up down the road, now all of a sudden it's cut off and it's dark beyond that point. So as soon as you try to go around a curve, the top of the headlight, the beam, cuts down and you can't see around the corner. It's kind of dangerous in my opinion. I added these aftermarket fog lights and they help a lot. They solve the problem, but that's an issue. Definitely, you almost have to put fog lights on it if you're gonna ride at night around curvy roads. The ninth thing I hate about this bike is when you buy it new from the dealer, it comes with a windshield that's about 2 inches tall. It sticks out about that far, and that's it. That's all you get. You have to buy the taller windshield from Honda. Also, the center stand is an accessory. Yeah, I think this bike should have came with a tall windshield and a center stand, because you almost have to have a center stand to check the oil. The oil window is right down here by your shift lever on the right hand side. So if you don't have a center stand, you almost have to get like one of those telescopic mirrors with the telescoping handle to even check your oil. So why this bike didn't come with that is beyond me. It should have came with that right from the factory. The 10th thing I hate about this bike is the heat that comes off the engine on hot days. I think it's mostly due to where these pipes are positioned. You do get an awful lot of heat, even in this cover. On cold days it's nice because you can put your leg against this cover and absorb a lot of heat into your inner legs. But the heat that comes off this exhaust can be pretty uncomfortable on a really hot day when you're traveling. This is the actual pipe here. This is not a cover, as you can see down there. So any dirt or debris that hits that gets burned on instantly, and it's almost impossible to get it off. I'm sure there are ways to get it off, but if you really scrub on that thing with some harsh chemicals, you're probably going to do more harm than good. So I just leave it alone. It is what it is. As a little bonus for watching to the end of this video, there is one more thing I hate about this motorcycle. It is the exhaust system. In a whole, this exhaust system is way overcomplicated, way more complicated than it really needed to be. And there are, I don't know of any aftermarket companies that will even touch this motorcycle when it comes to an aftermarket exhaust. Now I have seen people take the baffle out of the muffler here in the back. I mean, look at that, it is just a mess under there. Just this side piece, one side, a new piece from Honda is like 600 bucks. Just one side, and that's just the front half. That's just the front half of this is $600 per side. So, and look what happens to it. I mean, it's just exposed to all the dirt and road debris, bugs, you name it. And it just burns right on there. Well, thank you for watching the video. I hope you liked it. I hope you learned something about the bike and help you make a decision on whether or not you should buy one for yourself. Hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. They're on their way.